We are tied at 7 at the 10:43 mark to go in the first half. I'm beginning to like the work that young Mr. Anderson does on the interior.
Mr. Anderson.
Free throw up and good. So Anderson with the conventional three-point basket gives Livingstone their first lead at 8-7. 10:40 to go here in the first half. And back outside collecting it is Quentin McDuffie, pounding the rock between the circles. Goes to the left wing with it. It's Chris Williams. Williams, they reverse it to the right side. Holding it up is Mark McGlone. And McGlone, or at least somebody on the interior, was fouled.
Foul is on number 32.
That looks like it's Darius Sellers. And Sellers picks up his first and the third on the evening. Quickly, the inbounds pass is deflected out of bounds that time. Great hands by Sellers, who had just picked up the foul, but moved his feet to get in position to get a hand on the rock and forces Chowan to reset. Ball inbounded here. Kyrie Bethel. Bethel to Zach Hicks. Leaves it on the baseline for Quentin McDuffie, whose jumper draws nothing but the rim and is deflected out of bounds off a Hawk. And it looks like Bethel may have gotten his hand on it, and that will send Chris Williams to the bench. He is replaced by Ricky Lamb for the Hawks.
Offensively, Chowan is struggling to establish any offense in the paint. All 7 points have come from jumpers. They got to keep a more balanced offense. They need to establish something in the paint and be able to score some points around the arc.
And with the ball at the hash, bringing it around in the circle is Mark Thomas. Thomas going to leave it for Trone Jackson. Jackson was so impressive for Livingstone last year in their run to the semifinals. Top of the key with it. They tried to get the ball on the inside, Ethan Anderson, and the ball is collected. It didn't draw any rim, and a long three ball knocked down from the top by Mark Thomas. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good. That time, Livingstone good and lucky, and the lead increases to a 4, 11-7. We go inside of 9.5 to go in the half. And Zach Hicks tries to get the ball to the inside in the general vicinity of Quentin McDuffie. It's incomplete, goes out of bounds. And just like that, old man Mo swings to the side of Livingstone. And check that was Lee Branscombe in the contest, not Hicks. Number 30 as opposed to number 50. So apologies to the Zach Hicks fan club. You know, when you're able to miss an entire season and starting to see our AA tournament after a week, you got to have some fans. And a quick drive split, defenders kiss off the glass for Mark Thomas, and it's a 13-7 Livingstone lead. 8:50 and counting here in the first half. Getting the ball on the wing right now for Chowan is McDuffie. McDuffie going to get it back to McGlone, who gives it off to Kyrie Bethel, splits to the defenders with a sweet pass, and a driving quick McDuffie is fouled on the backside with what looked to be a very impressive block.
Foul is on number 32.
Duffy, the leading scorer on the team. I was waiting for him to catch fire. He's got to do something. He's got to take some of the attention away from Bethel. Bethel's pretty much the three-point guy, so he'll take care of the shooting from the outside. But I need for somebody to start earning their money inside the paint, and that's what McDuffie did on that last play.
So McDuffie, a 6'5" junior from Suffolk, Virginia, will head to the charity stripe for a pair. First one up, it's off the mark. Drawing nothing but the back of the rim. And we saw how in that last women's game, if you don't make your free throws early, you let somebody stick around, it will burn you at the end.
62% shooter from the stripe. I mean, it's not his strong point, but he can knock him down when need be.
And he does, in fact, knock down the second of 2. So the lead cut to 5 at 13-8. We go inside of 8.5 to go in the half. And in the painted area, swinging the ball. Nice little ball fake that time by Trone Jackson. He puts up the runner, and it's good.
Number 4.
Lead back to 7. 15-8. 8:16 to go. And we have a foul in the front court.
Foul is on
by
number
Livingstone.
11, Mark Thomas.
And Mark Thomas will be assessed that one.
Team's fifth.
It'll be the first on the sophomore from Saginaw, Michigan.
Got a pair of Thomases on the court for Livingstone right now.
Been a pair of everything. We had a pair of Grays earlier today, a pair of
Last
Walkers.
touch by the Hawks. That's the turnover.
A couple of weeks ago, I was
It'll be
in
the
Vegas.
Blue Bears ball.
I could have used a pair of aces. That's why I'm working with you now. 2 aces, and I'd be calling you, asking you how the game is going.
I'm not going to even go down that road with you, my friend.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, bro.
And if you had gotten those 2 aces, you probably would have stayed. Anyway, off the curl, the fall away leaner that time by Mark Thomas is off the mark, but a rebound is collected by Chowan, Livingstone with Trone Jackson between the circles and pounding the rock. Crossover picks it up. They run a curl to the far side. Mark Thomas gets it back between the circles, leaves it on the right wing for Mark. Now they go inside to Anderson. Anderson gets great position, but can't finish on the bunny, and it goes out of bounds. Point blank look, tremendous execution, and it adds up to nothing. But we go to our under 8-minute media timeout. 7 minutes, 36 seconds left to go. In the first half, it is Livingstone 15 and Chowan 8. It's the 100th anniversary CIAA tournament on HSRN, the voice of HBCU sports. I got you. I appreciate you too, bro. I don't see her though.
You don't see Alex? She's right there waving her hand. Same
Okay.
location.
Wave your hand if you can hear me. All right, get ready to play to the camera.
Wave your hand in the air. Wave it like you just don't care. Oh, you don't care, do you? Wave your hand like you paying for drinks after this. Yeah, no more hand waving.
Wave your hand like you want a drink after this. Mike Walker, Mark Gray, and you hanging out from the CIAA tournament. Let's see what's happening down on the sidelines, and that's where Alex Coppage is hanging.
Guys, during that last timeout, Coach DeBose told Livingston that they are not working hard enough on the offensive end. They said players need to post up and work on getting offensive rebounds to get some boards and get some baskets. Hopefully that works for them in the end of this half.
Thank you, Alex. Chowan comes right down and gets a basket from Mark McGlone, and the lead is cut to 5 at 15-10 with 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Got a nighttime men's doubleheader here in Charlotte on the wing. Drew Thomas with the crossover, driving baseline, and we had contact, which nullified a sweet drive to the rim. That's what I like to see, that quick first step and attack the rim with reckless abandon, though controlled. And Thomas did just that to draw the foul.
Just good ball movement to get that zone shifted all around. They're in the man-to-man right now, so obviously the quicker you are on your first step, the more likely you are to have a nice clean lane to the basket.
We have another whistle on the baseline, and I think
Foul
Zach
is on number
Hicks
50.
picks up number 2.
Hicks. His second.
I'm sure he didn't come back to the team a
7.
week before senior day to start the CIAA tournament and then land on the Pines in foul trouble in the first half.
On the line.
I mean, clearly they brought him back because they appreciate what he can offer the team, and he wanted to come back because he felt probably he had some unfinished business. So as far as I'm concerned, Mark, it's a match made in heaven.
So Nazir Austin at the charity stripe, he knocks down the first one, does the Seat Pleasant, Maryland native and graduate of Prince George's Community College. Bends at the knees, stares at the square, release, rotation, and it comes off the rim. Into the hands of McGlone. who thinks about crossing the timeline, backs out, then he walks over the CIAA logo into the front court. Pounding the rock, angling it towards the right wing. Gives it off to Ricky Lamb in the right wing. Down on the baseline to McGlone. McGlone backing in, sends it to Lamb. Lamb on the reversal, ball in the corner, driving the lane, stolen away. Great pilfer and a wraparound dribble and a drive up, under, off the glass. Give it to me, young fella, give it to me. Woo, that was sweet. And it's an 18-10 lead, pardon me. Livingstone over Chowan. And Zach Hicks with the turnaround baby hook. It's off the mark. Rebound cleared by Livingstone. Tyler Johnson leaves it for Jackson. Back outside, he leaves it for a wide open Eric Salter. Banging down the tray. And a timeout for Chowan. Dan DeRose trying to stop the bleeding with the quickness as Livingstone opened up a quick can. Jeff Van Gundy talks about spurtability, and that's the personification of spurtability.
They're starting to feel it. You know, Livingstone, they warmed up. They had the early deficit in the game. I guess they didn't like what they saw and realized, you know what, if we took care of these guys during the regular season, what are we doing? We can't keep them in the game. If we keep them in the game, we'll be turning in our scissors and using our bus tickets. Right now, they're firing on all cylinders, trying to extend their stay here at the CIAA tournament.
I wish I knew how to do Photoshop so I could do what they do with Turner's coverage of basketball with the gone fishing. I'd be getting scissors. That would be great. We got some downtime coming up on HSRN, so I got another program, another software I can learn how to use.
We got to have something scheduled in the offseason, bro. I don't want you getting soft on me.
Anyway, ball inbounded in the backcourt. And McGlone going to leave it for Greg Austin. And they get it to Ricky Lamb in the front court finally at the top. Between the circles, he leaves it for Greg Austin. He pounds the rock, angles to the near side with it. Pounding the rock on the wing. Thinks about going top shelf, does go top shelf. And Kyrie Bethel knocks down the three ball from the top. Big momentum stemming Jay at the 5:22 mark here to make it an 8-point, 21-13 contest. 5:15 and counting left to go in the first half. At the hash, Mark Thomas backs it out. Gives it to Drew Thomas. Off to Trone Jackson in the right wing. Cross court to the left wing. It's Mark Thomas. Thomas gets into the lane, leaves it for Jackson. Three ball, side pocket, no good. Rebound collected and going up strong and drawing the foul that time is Drew Thomas. A guard is not supposed to get that kind of interior position, and he does a great job, and in so doing is able to induce a foul. So Anthony Holiday got to be pleased with the relentless pursuit of the basketball by his junior guard from Missouri, who knocks down the first.
And with that shot, he enters into the scorer's bracket statistically. Already has a couple of rebounds on the night.
Number 12.
If Coach can get some solid minutes out of him, I know he'll be very excited, you know, about his performance in today's game.
For sure. Bends at the knees. Release, rotation, and it rims out. That was a good-looking free throw, signifying nothing, I might add. And quickly racing it up with Chowan is McGlone. Goes into the sideline, baseline with it to Quentin McDuffie. Back outside to McGlone, who angles it but pulls it back out. Now he angles it between the circles, gets a pick from Ricky Lamb, brings it off to the right wing. Now coming off the curl to get it. Top of the key is Kyrie Bethel. Back to Lamb, who's going to split defenders. He was tripped, and he took too many steps on his way to the rim. A lot of contact that time, but to no avail for the Hawks. And checking out is Quentin McDuffie. Checking in is Chris Williams for Chowan.